22 jobs, one at a time. This is Backlog Buster's Final Fantasy V Single Job Challenge series. The core rule is to only use the assigned job. I'll be forced to go jobless using Freelancer until the assigned job becomes available. As soon as the job unlocks, I'll switch out of Freelancer and be locked into that job for the rest of the game, for better or for worse. I'll be doing my best to see the majority of the optional content, but it's going to depend on the individual job for some of it. As an additional challenge, I'm going to try and beat the game at as low a level as possible, and to minimize grinding, though some grinding is likely inevitable. Other than that, there are no restrictions. All equipment, game mechanics, and strategies are available to beat the game and see the credits. Working through that lengthy list one by one, this time I'll be playing Summoner. Whether it's strong or weak, I don't know, because I've honestly never really touched it. At least it's a water crystal job, so I'll get it pretty quick. Listen, it's run number 17, and surely you know the shtick at this point. I'm gonna explain Summoner while I beeline it to the water crystal. The early game is always, and I mean always, the same. See? Wing Raptor's already roasted. Summoner's not like the traditional mages. You don't just head into a shop and buy your summons. Well, okay, you do, but only for the first 3. Summoner needs to subjugate the summons, Guardian Forces, Eidolons, Aeons, or was it Avatars? Whatever they're called, they need to be beaten into submission before they can be called upon. Submitting just like Lena submits to getting poisoned with that dart every single time. Please, just move one tile up, please. But since I'm here, take this Magisa, you freak! Back on topic, just like with Blue Mage, I'm going for the complete Summon Magic set. I'll get a good chunk of these naturally through game progression, but others I'll have to do some cheeky side quests for. Look at that, it's the Water Crystal. Got here very quickly this time around. Garulla's getting paralyzed with that whip from Magisa, and the party bashes his head in. Humans are making woolly mammoths extinct once again. The Water Crystal shatters, and that's my job unlocked. The Walls Tower sinks, and then Sildra saves me. Thank God she's okay. And she's gone. Time to head back to Waltz now. I'm picking up the first set of summons from the shops. Chocobo, Sylph, and Remora. We'll see what all of these do shortly because I honestly have no idea. Now I'm arming myself with rods, daggers, and robes along with a standard item restock. This is where the run starts for real. I've already been in and out of Waltz, but I'm heading back in for the first Summoner side quest. I know it's in here somewhere, but I never know how to get there. All of these NPCs are telling me hints, but not how to get there. After meticulously searching the castle grounds, I've found the entrance. Looks like there's some elf toads just like in Waltz Tower. Well, no time like the present to see what these summons do. Chocobo Kick seems like it does some pretty solid damage, and Sylph has an HP steal to heal the whole party. Works for me. Ooh, a light. I gotta touch it. It's Shiva and 3 guys. What were they doing here? Whatever. I'm gonna get with the Chocobo kickin'. This is going pretty well since I'm sitting in the back row. I think Chocobo is less good than Sylph though. I like that little party-wide heal quite a bit. It's like chucking a potion at everybody. Suspicions confirmed, Sylph seems like the way to go. Before long, I've crushed the ice soldiers and Shiva's all that's left. My summoners have more than enough MP to spam Sylph until Shiva dies. The occasional Blizzara just can't hold up to the sucking force of all those silly little guys. Shiva's dunzo. I've acquired my first real summonable friend, the Ice Queen Shiva. She also happened to drop an ice rod. Is smashing rods on the table for Summoner? You bet your bottom dollar that it is. Now let's head through that Meteor blasting Shiva to get to Carnak for some more. What's that? It's illegal to be this intelligent? They can tell that my brain is extruding itself into the horn. But I'm with good company in prison because the world's smartest man, Sid, is also here, who promptly slips the Chancellor $5 and I'm out of there. Hey, that's $1 per person, and that's not bad in this economy. A free man, I'm heading east to the forest. Blasting Shiva instantly kills the Wild Nax for easy EXP and Gil. After a quick little grind sesh, I'm loaded up with Carnak's wares, including a great many elemental rods. Frost rods boost Shiva, so that's the loadout. I'm heading to the fireship now, and Sid's chastising me for taking so long, but I don't think he remembers who's in charge here. Racing to the bottom of the fireship once again. I'm constantly ripping Shivas and destroying absolutely everything. Except for those poltergeists who absorb elements, but I've got Sylph and Chocobo to deal with them. Turns out Summoner's really powerful, my dudes, and it's got tools to deal with everything. A little bit crazy. And speaking of crazy, I've reached the bottom of the fireship. The Queen unleashes her flames, but she's about to get diamond dusted. 900 damage on Liquid Flame is very respectable. I used Ice Rod boosted Shiva for any form susceptible to magic. Then, on the hand, I used Sylph for a pretty pathetic heal. Bart's finally succumbed to flame counters, but a final diamond dust, well, dusted liquid flame. Oh, look at that, Suze's here! Wait, who's that normal guy? And he's gone. Well, boys, we were 10 seconds too slow. Should have fought one less wolf pack outside. Whoops. The fire crystal got blowed up, and now I have to indulge Lena's delusion that the castle's held together with the fire crystal's power. Got a blast! Escaping from Carnak Castle, I only need two main things. The Elf Cape and the main gauche. Both offer the extremely powerful 25% chance to dodge physical attacks. The Elf Cape also has +1 magic power to boost my summons. The main gauche is actually the strongest melee weapon I'll have access to in this world, so that's getting picked up. Never neglect grabbing the gauche, even if it is Franche. And it goes without saying, but blasting Shiva in here is absolutely crushing everything. It's barely even fair. I got what I wanted, but I've got some time to spare. I'm snagging some elixir chests on the way out. Got it all. Let's mosey. Oh no, an ambush. What am I gonna do? I summon Shiva in attack mode. One diamond dust takes out the wolves, and Ironclaw doesn't even get to monologue or make his dramatic entrance. He's dead after one queued up round of Shivas. Summoner's proving to be pretty economical too. I don't even need to Rod Smash. At this point, I get the first set of fire crystal shards, but these are all fully completed. You'll love to see it. There's no more need to dawdle. I'm headed straight down to the ancient library. Shiva and Sylph still pulling their weight, but I sense something very powerful in this book here. Oh, it's Ifrit. Looks summonable. Subjugation incoming. I tested out Sylph, but the damage and healing is mediocre, so obviously Shiva it is. Diamond Dust damage is anything but mediocre. Someone's about to be frozen solid in a minute flat. 3 Shivas and a couple of rounds of Sylph were all it took to take out Ifrit. New Flaming Friend acquired. Loadout swap to Fire Rods. I've got the Pyromania. These books aren't gonna know what hit them. Yup, Ifrit burns all of them to a crisp. This is not even close to fair. Book-based boss Byblos in the basement. Oh, slow, that's cute. How about Hellfire, idiot? The drain counters are already coming out, but Byblos has no chance. One round of Ifrit is all it takes. Summoners are truly crushing it. Oh hey Mid, your apprenticeship begins now. You're gonna help your grandpa fix up the fire ship. For me. You know, since I'm in Carnak, I feel like I should grab some Thunder Rods. I'm gonna need them pretty soon, I can tell. While I wait for the repairs, I will hear Galuf's cool backstory. Now that that's all done, time for Summoner to set sail on the high seas. As usual at this point, I'm taking a pit stop to Jack Hole. I'm purchasing 4 Mage Mashers. I feel like Summoner won't need them because I have Sylph and Chocobo, but I'm not gonna be caught lacking. The Sage's surplus armor is here to prevent silence. Sounds good, but I don't think there's anything that even inflicts it at this point in the game. Back on the airship, and I'm heading to Black Flame Island. Just kidding! I felt the call of the Aeons or something. I'm headed straight to Istory and instantly getting into a battle with Ramuh. Flash? How cute. I will not be physically attacking, ever. I choose you, Ifrit. Hellfire! The damage could be higher, but Ifrit's the strongest summon that I've got. I should really probably just be smashing rods at this point, but I'll refrain so I can be the summon magic user. After a few rounds of getting smacked around by him, Ramuh realizes that I do indeed have Ifrit. I'm rewarded with a scroll, which I then use to unlock Ramuh as a summon. That's a choice alright. I didn't have to do that with Shiva or Ifrit. Regardless, I have Old Thunderman. I'm now headed to Crescent Island and throwing my fire ship in the whirlpool. Don't need that trash anymore. I'm adjusting my loadout once again to Thunder Rods. Listen, if I can't exploit an elemental weakness, I'm just defaulting to the strongest power, and that's the Bearded Man. The black chocobo's chilling in the forest and then spits up more fire crystal shards. Not gonna lie, feels really good to be done the entire fire crystal. I'm flying back to the ancient library and I'm having visions of Arrakis and King Tycoon floating across the desert or something. Sid Mid, you can call me Muad'Dib and call me a big one. I'm waiting for Shai-Hulud to show up so I can blast him with Hugement Bolt. 600 damage is pretty unremarkable, especially with the gravity counters coming in. Strategy adjustments? I opted to single target smash with Sylph's Whisper Wind. I get a minor heal and the damage is still okay. Suck off the Sandworm, little guys. I do blast some more Hugement Bolts here and there, but Sylph keeps me sustained and the fight's done. The Ruins of Gone is the perfect place to have a hide-and-seek tournament. I lost, but how could I lose with my giant brain horn? Must be the electronic interference. Sid and Mid drop in and fix up my airship. Of course it's mine. I was here first. Into the skies and into the battle with the lowly Crayclaw. I'm gonna get my lightning grandpa to tell you to get lost. 2 times, in fact. Straight back to Gone to raise the ruins. Straight back to Sid and Mid to cry about it. Then straight back to Tycoon Meteor to get the solution. Then I'm turning the Adamantoise into turtle soup. I guess it's like a tortoise gazpacho or something because allegedly Adamantoise is weak to ice. I swapped my Loto to Frost Rods and smashed him with Shiva and her Diamond Dust. Easy. Back to the Brain Lords, back into the sky, but this time like a bigger, higher sky. The Ronka Ruins are armed with automatic defenses. I'm going to overload them all with Judgment Bolts from my angry grandpa. One battle equals 2 Judgment Bolts. But all of that was just the amuse-bouche for the main course, the girthy, engorged Soul Cannon. All machines must die. 2 Judgment Bolts take out the side launchers before they even get turns. No old for me. I simply spent the rest of the fight blasting the Soul Cannon with Judgment Bolts over and over again with auto battle. 22,500 health is a lot of health to cut through, but summoners do it before a wave cannon even gets close to coming out. Summoners are flying through this game, but I know that reality is harsh. Archeoaevis' final form is immune to magic damage, and that's kind of my shtick. I'm heading to Black Flame Island for a quick grinding session. Judgment Bolt one-shots the battle, so I'm unleashing angry grandpas left and right and collecting tons of EXP and gil. So during this inevitable grind session, why don't you like the video and subscribe to the greatest channel, Backlog Buster? If you want to support the channel even further, you can check out the Patreon or channel memberships for exclusive content, including videos and text-based guides and maps. There's some secret spreadsheets for future FF5 runs. Wink. Why did I say wink? Now that the shilling's over, the video content's returned like a spooky ghost to haunt you. Woo! Okay, that was unbelievably stupid. Anyways, I opted to buy a set of flame rings this time around in Istri. I could only afford 3, but I've got a need for speed, so I'm flying back into the Ronka Ruins. Ramuh is still proving to be extremely potent as I smash everything on the way down to the final level. I snagged a few elixirs and high potions along the way, and then hit that save. King Tycoon, I'd like a word with you. But then the Archeoaevis attacks? Yeah, I will choose Judgment Bolt. 800 damage is just okay. It could be a lot better, and it could be a lot worse, I'm not gonna lie to you. But hey, as long as it works, I'll keep on using it. Archeoaevis decided to not really do much of anything this fight. Judgment Bolt finally stopped working. I'll swap to Ifrit instead. I also tested the waters with Sylph, but we're down to sub 100 damage, so that's not looking very promising. One more Ifrit takes out the final form, but Archeoaevis isn't done quite yet. I've got faith in you, summoned friends. Go, Chocobo! 0 damage, dude, nice. Somebody's never getting used again. Sylph's Whisperwind is going for like 22 damage and a party heal of 5. Alright. Bart's managed to slug it for 78 with his knife, which may be the most surprising aspect of this whole fight. Those flame rings really are paying dividends as Blaze heals Galuf and Lena. But it's time to rip the bandage off. Melee is inevitable in Archeoaevis. But here's Maelstrom, dude nice. Lena and Bart's are carving off 80 HP at a time. Archeoaevis only has 2500 HP. How hard could this be? Well, if he's just gonna keep spamming Maelstrom and not killing me, that's amazing. At least I'm not dying. But I honestly couldn't tell you why I kept trying to use Whisperwind. Just use the Mage Mashers, ya dingus. Lena ate it, and I think I finally woke up. A Phoenix Down followed by an Elixir. Let's get the show on the road. Past West definitely woke up to the power of knife cutting. I've got Phoenix Downs to burn, and that's my only healing item left. Frost comes out, and it's really scary, but the Flame Rings negate it. Breathwing, that is another story. A loss. Sad. I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna throw everyone into the front row this time. Crazy, right? Instant Breathwing again? Sick, bro. I Thunder Rod Smash. I Thunder Rod Smash again. Okay, one more time. Oh, look, he's immune. Let's Fire Rod Smash instead. The revived form is back once again. I wasted a round of Thunder Rod Smashes. Thank you, Auto Battle. Another Breathwing. God, I love it. The Mage Mashers are hitting for about 150 damage a hit. Do Summoners have both the highest int in the game and actually some decent strength too? Kind of insane when you compare it to jobs like Bard, who just suck at everything. I'm gonna stop being stingy with the consumables here. I'll throw out Phoenix Downs and whatever high potions I've collected from chests and bosses. Elixirs too. Frosts are negated on 3 people, you'll love to see it, but I really should have gotten that final flame ring. Very slowly I'm carving Archeoaevis up, but here's Breathwing again. 2 deceased party members, but I can remedy that. Or at least I could, but I managed to kill Archeoaevis before I got Ferris back up. I expected Summoner to struggle with its shrimp-like physique, but it's surprising me all the time. Cryo crashes into the Ronka Ruins, and oh, she's got Judgment Bolt too. That's pretty cool. Just in time to save the crystal. Exdeath's freed. He gives a cool speech, and I'm leaving. Then Galuf drops the bombshell that I'm not allowed in his world. Damn, I thought we were extruded brainhorn bros. I guess it's back to hanging out with the pseudo-intellectual brainlords, or Suds as I like to call them. But they're just not here in the catapult? What is going on? The Bartz's World Meteor Roundup begins once again. Starting off with the Waltz Meteor for the Bomb Squad. They're rolling up on me like this is West Side Story. Sorry, but I got a jet? I use Hugement Bolt. They counter summon magic with Cura. Interesting, but can you withstand a second Hugement Bolt? Doesn't look like it. Now I sense yet another potential friend to subjugate. Titan squatting in the Carnak Meteor. I will simply continue my strategy of blasting Judgment Bolts left and right. That Earthquake final attack is just sad. Titan acquired, and I'm sure he'll be useful, but Elemental Rod boosting is still out in full force here. The Suds are getting sucked by Chimera Brain. I'm gonna throw out some Judgment Bolts, but let's check Titan's power next. Whoa, okay, that's without a boost too. Titan really is my new best friend. Ramuh status benched. Feel the force of the earth, idiot! Meteor convergence is achieved by the power of a big stomp. I took a quick trip to Carnak to restock on elemental rods just in case, but Titan's looking very promising. Now I'm done with this place and all of its suits. I must reunite with my fellow extruded brainhorn havers and see what fabulous new summoned creatures I can subjugate in Galuf's world. What do you mean I can't subjugate the local wildlife? Poaching? What? Thrown in the slammer for the second time. My lawyer Galuf has come to bail me out through violence. The check's in the mail, Gilgamesh. The court date's been set, but I'm gonna be out of this world before that comes up. The big bridge is about to face the full power of Gaia's wrath. Then Gilgamesh is gonna feel the full force of it over and over and over again. Shell, that's cute. Too bad you're already toasted. A couple more Gaia's wraths and Gilgamesh is running away. I'm taking the Barrier Blast Express to Regol. It's like the Canon Travel Network from Secret of Mana, alright. It's definitely gonna catch on. Definitely. In Regol, we know that from Geomancer only, there's the new Gaia gear. I have a feeling that Summoner is going to get a lot more value out of it than Geo could ever hope for since I have an on-demand Earth attack. But also in Regol, there's the standard pickups of new daggers and high potions now, so that's happening. Speaking of daggers, I'm thinking Summoner's a lot like Time Mage at the moment. I can throw on the main gauche once again and avoid some physicals since I'm getting Earth boosts on my armor. That's truly an enlightened take worthy of my extruded brainhorn. Oh, hey guys, remember Lena's second character trait, liking animals? Let's go save that Moogle again. Titan's really strong, but you know that in these underwater caves, the enemies are going to be weak to electricity. Get back in here, angry Thunder Grandpa. As for Tyrannosaur at the end, well, one connected Phoenix down later, and Lena continues to show us character trait number 2. I cross the desert, and I enter the Moogle village, where the Dancing Dagger's here once again. This is going to shock all of you, but I'm actually going to use it this time. I could dance, but I don't wanna. No, I'll leave attacks behind. The Dancing Dagger has +1 magic and +1 agility. This is strictly a stat booster. Thank God. My extruded brainhorn acts as a transmitter, so I don't need no Moogle telepathy. I can do it myself, thank you very much. Kryle's called, and I'm flown to Ball Castle on the Windrake, who has decided to simply give up on life. I have to stop Exdeath, and you know what? I'm pretty sure I could actually take him out right now, honestly. But I must follow the script. I'll get the Dragon Grass, but not before a brief excursion to the Ball basement. Thunder Rod boosted Hugement Bolt blasts the statues for really high ability points. Not that summoners need it. The only ability I can actually unlock is Call. This just uses a randomized summon for no MP cost. Sounds extremely mediocre there, Chief. I want to pick who I'm throwing out. Straight out of Ball, straight out into Kooky Kelb once again. The Beastie Boys ambush me, but I saw this coming. I'm using the horn. Rhino charge! Cool backstory peeped, because I can't get enough of the Dawn Warriors. Poison rods are available now, and I will partake in a handful just in case. I'm also making real sure to stockpile on high potions before heading out to Drakenvale. No one's ever returned from here, by the way. Heading to the summit for the Dragon Grass, but I've detected another one of them there Aeons. This one's in trouble. He needs my assistance. If I'm going out of my way to save Golem, I usually just rip Requiems from Bard. But I can't, so I need to use my brain here. I'm kind of drawing blanks, though. My quote-unquote good summons are target all, so I'm gonna have to resort to Chocobo, I guess. Oh god, they're eating him! Then they're gonna eat me! Oh my god! I really have to keep Golem alive, and the only way I can do that is by throwing high potions at him. Since Chocobo turned out to be terrible, I'm gonna knife down these dragons slowly, 100 damage at a time. Bartz has the Dancing Dagger on, and he's thrown out some serious sword dances. But there's gotta be a better way. I swapped to Flame Rods. The damage variance is high, but it actually did pretty well overall. Much better than the daggers. This was a very long fight, but I made sure to keep Golem topped up with high potions. I eventually wore down both the zombie dragon and bone dragon without Golem dying. Golems joined the party and I didn't even have to beat him into submission. The zombie and bone dragons did that part for me. Golem uses Earth Wall, which blocks physical attacks. But enough about Golem, I reached the summit. Whoa, Lena, calm yourself down. You'll get the grass, just chill out. Yeah, I'm gonna open up with Gaia's Wrath and Earth Wall just in case. The dragon flowers are cleared out, and then I kinda just continue to spam Gaia's Wrath from Titan boosted by the Gaia gear. Yeah, I've won without ever getting hit. Okay, dragon grass acquired, moving on. I'm racing all the way back to Ball. Now, despite being an enlightened being with an expanded consciousness, Lena cannot resist her most primal instincts. She's chowing down on that grass. Hey, you gotta leave some for the Drake there, lady. Thankfully, she left enough. I can now fly around looking for that turtle. But as soon as I land, Titan sinks Sage Gido's cave. I made that joke in Geomancer, didn't I? And speaking of joke recycling, it's Zayza of the Dawn Warriors for the 17th time. You know what's coming. Gilgamesh teleports onto the scene. I will continue using the only strategy that I have, which is spamming Gaia's Wrath and Laughin'. I'm gonna throw an Earth Wall too, just in case. But then Enkidu shows up. He's hovering slightly above ground level, a big problem for Titan. Huge. Whatever am I going to do? Thunder Grandpa, lend me your power once again. Sub 1000 damage isn't great, but it's still high enough to blast Enkidu before much of anything else happens. Alright, everybody back to Titan. Embrace humanity's one true friend, the humble rock. Speaking of Titan, it's time to jump onto Zayza's homemade sub, also called the Titan. Summoners have no need for reflect rings, and you'll see why soon enough. That just means that I get to race to the top of the barrier tower, killing everything. There are a lot of flying enemies here, and those little magnet dudes apparently dodge Earth. Gaia's Wrath is whiffing like crazy. I guess I need to resort to Judgment Bolts once again. Also, apparently I can just plow through Reflect Knights. Don't they have Reflect? Hang on, does someone just bypass Reflect? Sweet damn. They really made summoners busted, didn't they? But in the barrier tower, I want to pick up this chest specifically. It contains the incredibly valuable gold hairpin. Wearing the gold hairpin halves your MP costs. Summoner hasn't had problems with MP so far, but it's easily one of the most mana-hungry jobs in the game. The red dragon is no match for Titan spam. Gold hairpin acquired. That's all I needed. Let's mosey. Atmos is here thinking he's gonna slurp up my summoners, but he's never gonna see this coming. Taste the rage of the earth! Lena got commented to death, but she can be the patsy for now. Suck on her as much as you like, Atmos. Sloga's really bad, but I'm just gonna keep slamming Gaia's Wrath and hope for the best. There's never any reason to stop, because the Titan train has no brakes. Atmos is defeated easily. I'm body checking Galuf and getting back in Zayza's homemade submarine, which is now my homemade submarine. I made this. I saw the wet rocks, I entered the cave. I moved the wet rocks, and I snagged Sage Gido's lunch, the Guardian Branch. God, I hate Sage Gido's cave so much. Now you'd think I'd be headed straight to more to continue the story, but my horn feels the call of another summonable friend. I'm going to the north to find another, differenter underwater cave. Through the cave and up to this empty field. What's this, a female chocobo? Hang on, is that Coco? Anyways, the first battle that I encountered in this island is the Catoblepus, or Shoat. Yeah, so this guy uses Demon Eye to petrify. He's kinda like a pseudo-boss, but I smashed his face in almost instantly with Gaia's Wrath boosted by the Gaia gear. Then I consumed the scroll. He's on the team. Will I ever use him? Maybe? Petrify has some incredibly niche applications. Now I will head back into my submarine and get to more finally. I'm gonna grab the Gauche number 2, the sequel, and then head to the weapon shop for air knives. These boost wind elemental attacks, and while I don't have any right now, they're gonna be critical to my strategy later. I can also buy wizard hats, so that's an upgrade, but the Gaia gear stays on. Guardian Branch shown, and friendly forest frolicking fun leads to Exdeath blowing the place up. That was not very nice. Now I can enter the big tree and see what's going on in here. Surely the mysteries will be revealed next episode. Surely they wouldn't just answer no questions and then leave us hanging for season 4. Surely. The crystals are always a bit of a problem, but I've got some ideas. First of all, Golem is going to rock here since all the crystals do is physically attack. Earthwall's shield is going to negate every single one of them, at least for a little bit. Now I will try Demon Eye from Catoblepus, and it did nothing. Why am I not surprised? And I'm going back to calling him Shoat. Okay, back to Old Faithful Titan. Obviously the Earth Crystal absorbs it, that's not surprising, but I'll deal with that later. For now, I'm just going to spam Gaia's Wrath like I've been doing for the last 2 hours. Now I just need a solution for the Earth Crystal. I gave Demon Eye a few rounds of attempts again, but not connecting. What else is new? Thunder Rod's on again, boys, and oh no, it negates it. I guess that makes sense since it's Earth, therefore grounded. Okay, just Flame Rod Smash instead. It's over, I've won. Exdeath's here and oh no, he poked in Galuf's extruded brainhorn, killing him instantly. Galuf's dead, but right before he died, he transmitted his solar data directly into Kryl. It's like nothing's changed at all. Except for now I have the desire for revenge.
Exdeath, you're a pseudo-intellectual dumbass and I'm coming.
Yeah, Kelgar, can you just like keel over so I get into the castle? Yeah, okay, thanks. I dream of new gear, but I'm peeking as we speakin'. Exdeath's castle has nothing that I care about except for exactly one thing, which is Lena's favorite, a new animal friend. Let's face off against Carbuncle for the first and last time. Carbuncle's gimmick is that he has two forms and swaps between them. One has permanent reflect and blasts you with strong magic. The other one removes reflect, rendering himself vulnerable but heals himself. This is on a cycle, and every 3 turns or so, he swaps. But we've learned from earlier that summon magic just kinda ignores reflect, so that gimmick can go and stay go. He's also susceptible to petrify in his restoring form, so all I gotta do is summon Cattleblapas and Demon Eye right now. Freebie. Carbuncle acquired, which means I have on-demand reflect. Seems pretty good, and that saves me a valuable accessory slot. That's all. I'm just snagging this chest to trigger Gilgamesh to fight me. Now I'm putting up the Earth Wall and spamming Titan as usual. Gilgamesh threw out the usual slew of status effects, but I kept the Titan spam up until he's forced to transform. Then he promptly gets banished to the Shadow Realm by Exdeath. Now it's time to tackle Exdeath himself. I mean, I told you I was coming, man. Earthwall and Carbuncle up right away for physical shields and reflect. Now to begin the spamming of Gaia's Wrath. Okay, Titan's showing his age a little bit. I'm down to 1,000 damage a cast, but I'm not complaining. It's been a heck of a lot worse. Exdeath counters with an Earthshaker of his own, which, you know, hurts. God, is that what I've been doing to people this whole time? I need myself a high potion chucker. Stat. Oh joy, Ferris got zombie breathed and actually died. Guess who doesn't have any holy waters at all? Live your life as a zombie. Titan smashed Exdeath into his final phase, and he promptly counters by smashing Lena's face in. Golem's Earthwall just didn't hold out long enough. On the bright side, he's nuking himself now with tier 3 magic because of Carbuncle. Lena's back up and Earthwall's back on. The Gaia's Wrath spam continues. Exdeath is tearing down those Earthwalls and quickly. Lena and Kryl both ate it. Bartz was able to eat it, but he's got a Flame Ring on, which absorbed Ferris's Fire Rod attack, and then absorbed Firaga from Exdeath. Then it negated his next Blizzaga. Yeah, I'd really dodged a bullet with that one, but not the next time. I should have played this fight a lot more carefully, but I thought I could race him down. Exdeath, round 2. Earthwall directly into Ruby Light once again. Is there a strategy change? Yeah, I'm just gonna resort to immediately smashing Frost Rods boosted by Frost Rods. The damage output is like triple that of Titan, and with Earthwall up, I didn't even take damage this time around. Summon magic is cool and all, but you know that rod smashing is absolutely the definitive way to play a caster job in this game. I've woken up in Bartz's world. I peeped the princess and then met up with my old pal Boko. Man, how long was I out for? Because Boko and Coco are already married and expecting, and I just beat Exdeath. Regardless, Boko's carrying me straight into the hole and an antlion shows up. That's no Final Fantasy IV antlion, let me tell you. That thing still haunts my nightmares. I summon up the Rage of the Earth! Oh god, 0 damage. Okay, new plan. Rod smashing it is, bye-bye, idiot. Or Suze, as I like to call them. Ferris busts me out, then I backtrack to the pirate's lair because I was hopeful. But my extruded brainhorn tells me that it's just a little bit too early. Back to the hole. There's a turtle tussle, and then the mystery of the tablets is revealed to me. I don't need no stinking tablets to trash Exdeath. Let's get this over with. Through the desert, directly into the pyramid. The Gargoyle Guardians have no idea what's coming. Earth Wall's up first, but it was unnecessary because summoners blew off their 10,000 health easily with the Rage of the Earth. The pyramid usually has nothing of note, but this time I want the second gold hairpin. Thankfully, this isn't even off the beaten path. I just snagged the chest on the way out. Tablet snagged, which drops the peninsula, releasing my airship and the mighty Dragon King Bahamut. New friend, maybe? Now it's time to head back into the forest, and oh, Lena survived Tycoon getting sucked up. Cool. Oh no, not Exdeath. What are we gonna do? Classic evil villain, leaving your henchwoman to finish off the team. Well, my friends, it's obvious. Melusine always starts weak to fire, but unfortunately, Ifrit is really low power at this point in the game. Smashing flame rods it is. It only took 3, and she's done because of Summoner's extreme Brainhorn magic power. Lena's back in the party, I've got my airship back, and I get to watch these cutscenes once again. I think we should collectively dub this event the Slurpening. But enough of my favorite series of cutscenes. I've got many tasks to accomplish and new summonable friends to subjugate to my whims, which I will shock you all by doing right now. Phantom Village can wait. I returned to the Pirate Cove only to hear a familiar voice. Oh, it's Sildra. Yeah, I know we only had her for like 15 minutes, but she's back and she's gonna help. Titan's starting to reach old age. Sildra has a heck of a lot more beef, and despite her attack being called quote-unquote thunderstorm, it's actually wind elemental. Those air knives from Moore are definitely worth getting. Sildra's boosted. Now that I have my weapon and summon of choice, I'm going back to Phantom. I'm gonna start off with 4 black robes and Lamia's tiaras. This is a huge magic power buff and confusion immunity for the summoners. Now I'm dumping whatever treasures I've accumulated to buy some Hermes sandals. 2 pairs is gonna have to do for right now. Now it's just the standard pub crawl for the thief knife, praying I never have to use it, then I'm following up by releasing the black chocobo. But I think another chocobo needs some attention first. I hopped back on Boko and rode to the sealed Temple of Kuza. I got a chance to test out Sildra on Exdeath's soul. It was good. I dropped the tablet and grabbed the Magus Rod, which should boost all elements. Then I'm grabbing the Assassin Dagger as usual and, the Flame Lash? Classic. I have my doubts that I need any of these weapons though. I just did it to unleash the horrific monsters of the void, also I can do the optional content. Afterwards, I took Boko to the top of history for the magic lamp. Grabbing this may seem redundant on Summoner, but it totally isn't! You'll see, you'll all see! Back on my airship and I'm done with him. Boko can go back home to his new family, which he met like 5 minutes ago. Back on the black chocobo this time, I'm starting a brief grind session in the northern desert. Summoners are crushing it like never before, but as usual, I feel like I just need some more health to survive the inevitable Almagust. Air Knife boosted Sildra is a one-shot on these battles, so this is completely fast and painless grinding. But the actual reason I grinded here was not for levels, it was to get cash for 2 more pairs of Hermes sandals. Then I went back to the desert once again to tackle the North Mountain. My extruded brainhorn knows Bahamut's here. Also, he told me, remember? Bahamut is not scary at all for Summoner. I don't even have Reflect Rings, but that's okay, because I'm opening up with Carbuncle. Earthwall can come too. Hasted Air Knife boosted Sildras are truly disgusting. I'm dealing 3,400 damage a shot, and pretty much everything Bahamut throws at me is getting reflected back at him. It's not long before I drop him into Mega Flare range, and then he roasts himself. Bahamut acquired the strongest summon, but Sildra's not going to get any rest for a while because I'm going to be relentlessly spamming her instead. Sildra with the air knife is very close to Bahamut's damage output, and it's way more MP efficient. But if I wanted to be a main Gauche enjoyer, I would be spamming Bahamut. Since I'm here, I may as well keep the Aeon train going. I'm headed to the Phoenix Tower now and racing all the way to the top. Sildra is blowing everything apart all the way. I tried out Bahamut too. It's pretty good. I really do love climbing the Phoenix Tower for real. Every single one of these floors. Woof. But it was all worth it because Hiryu's here. Great, it's dying again. Hang on, his name is Hiryu? Did Kryl just never name her Windrake? Whatever, Lena's dumping the deep lore about how and why she loves animals. Maybe Lena was better at loving animals than Kryl was after all. Then Hiryu dies and becomes the Phoenix Summon. This deals fire damage and casts Raise on the party. It sounds pretty decent, but who knows if I ever even need to use it. I suppose Flame Rod boosted Phoenix would do quite a bit of damage though. But speaking of Phoenix, leaving the Phoenix Tower sucks. My brain antenna is detecting another summonable monster though, and it's under Ball Castle. Through Jackhole Cave and I found Odin just kinda hanging out here. I will simply choose to blast him over and over again with Hasted Thunderstorm. The cast time on these summons is kinda long, but I'm done with Odin with 10 seconds to spare. Odin acquired, and that's the final summon I can get for right now. I need submarine capabilities for the last one, so let's go get it. I'm finally headed to the Island Shrine. I feel like I've done this playthrough completely out of order. The gargoyles are getting atomized by Mega Flare and Thunderstorm. It's never been more over. Summoner has peaked, and I have no interest in any of the treasures here. I just need to get to the bottom and snag the tablet where the Wendigo attacks. I'm putting on the 3 flame rings I have because there's no chance in hell I'm playing the shell game this time. I summon Bahamut. 3,500 damage is a great start, but after the second summon, the frost counters start coming out. But that's okay because the flame rings negate them. Even though they only hit Ferris for like 250 damage, she's quickly frozen to death, bro. That's okay, she can sit this one out. The remaining summoners blast Wendigo to death with Mega Flare and eat the frost counters. There's simply nothing left of Wendigo. Tablet 2 acquired, which unlocks the Fork Tower. Inside, does it really matter who goes where this time? Bartz and Kryl are up the right side, and the Tycoon sisters are going left. I have finally learned my lesson. Despite being an obvious magic attack, smashing a rod counts as a physical for all intents and purposes. Bartz and Kryl smash Minotaur's face in using the power of magic flame rods. God, Summoner's magic power is disgusting. Breaking 4,000 damage is getting ridiculous. Minotaur never even stood a chance. Now it's Omniscient's turn. I'll open him up with Carbuncle for Reflect. Now just to unload Air Knife boosted Sildras all over Omniscient. I'd barely consider this a fight on Summoner. Flare comes out and Omniscient's toasted himself. The Fork Tower crumbles, revealing the catapult, and I get to meet my brain buddies, Sid and Mid, or Suds as I like to call them. My ship's now submarine capable, and that means I can get the tablets. But most importantly, I can get the final summonable friend. He can wait though, since the Undersea Trench is right here. Okay, another set of gargoyles, that's another set of spamming Mega Flare and Thunderstorm. I continue to Mega Flare and Thunderstorm all the way to the bottom, where I find those stupid little gremlins. Normally they're a bit of a problem because of mixed elemental resistances, but not this time. I'm spamming Mega Flare. They're all dead in 4 castings. Later, nerds. I recharged the magic lamp on instinct as I left the trench, blasting everything on my way to smithereens. It's finally time for Istri for the last summon. One final set of gargoyles too. To no one's surprise, they're completely demolished along with anything and everything that dares give me a random battle in here. I'm headed to the basement once again for the tablet. Red Guy was probably too cool of a boss fight to actually have. Here's the final summonable companion, Leviathan. I've got coral rings on for Bartz and Lena, so this is gonna be free. I'm spamming Mega Flare and sure, throwing an Earth Wall in there for the heck of it. My killing power was incredibly high, but Ferris and Kryl still bit it. Despite their deaths, Bartz and Lena finished off Leviathan. Putting up Earthwall was definitely the right call. That's every monster subjugated on my Summoner side quest. Every single one proved useful in some way, except Remora. I never used it. I looked it up, it just uses Paralyzed, don't worry about it. Leviathan and Odin aren't getting used, but who cares about them? The Merged World optional content is all finished. All that's left is the Interdimensional Rift, if I can just find the darn thing. Alright, there it is. As usual, I don't care about any of the fabulous secret treasures. I just care about blowing up the horrific monsters of the void into a million pieces. Starting with that crystal-bearing BBW, Califisteri. Bahamut, obliterate! After 4 rounds of Bahamut, she asked me to stop. I oblige her and swap to Sildra to tear off the rest of her HP. She didn't even try to use Reflect, not that it would have done her any good. Save point hopped over and it's time to head straight into the Apanda. I think Flame Rods are the right call here. I could have summoned Phoenix, but I opted to just smash 3 Flame Rods. You can pretend that I used Phoenix. It would have been more on brand, but the outcome would have been exactly the same, I can guarantee it. Moving on into the Castle in the Sky. Oh look, it's a basement boss, the Blue Mage Azul Magia. Guard off, hey, don't do that. Earthwall's up and I'm beginning the Thunderstorming. Fitting because apparently there's yet another atmospheric river ripping through my town. Never heard about atmospheric rivers until about a year ago, and now they're just suddenly happening all the time. I'm convinced this is just a conspiracy by Big Meteorology. I'm taking the tinfoil hat off of my extruded brain horn though, and oh yeah, Azul Magia died, and I saved. What could Catastrophe possibly do? Oh, it's Demon Eye. Unpetrify your sister, Lena. I'm gonna keep blasting thunderstorms. And Catastrophe's dead. Summoners really just can't stop winning. Haste and summon magic is a match made in heaven. You know, these kisses are just getting sloppier and sloppier, and I'm not sure I like that. Alright, Halicarnassus, show me what you've got. Ribbit, which leads directly into 4 maiden kisses to cure Frog. Halicarnassus is simply delaying the inevitable. I don't care about reverse polarity either. Taste Sildra's Thunderstorm! Hang on, what do you mean focusing power? Does Halicarnassus specifically counter summon magic? Are you joshing me? Well, shouldn't have been so cocky. I've queued up too many attacks. The girls are dead, it's just Bart's left. I guess I'm resorting to rod smashing, but she hasted herself? Then she got a holy off before I managed to take her out. These last 2 Halicarnassus fights have been brutal. I didn't expect Geomancer and Summoner to struggle here. Okay, maybe I expected Geomancer to struggle a little. Unlike the lowly Geomancer, I actually have several outs as a Summoner. I could continue to spam Summon Magic and just make sure I alternate casting Sildra with Golem, or I could just Rod Smash and you'll never guess what strategy I chose. Hey, these Thunder Rods aren't gonna break themselves. Look at that, Halicarnassus is dead. What's next? The lowly Twintania? I expect no resistance here. All I have to do is open up with Carbuncle and that silly little Ruby Light. Sure, let's set up Earthwall too, just in case. I will choose to use Mega Flare. Then Twintania will counter my Mega Flare with Mega Flare, which gets reflected and he casts Mega Flare on himself. What a jokester, but Atomic Ray gets reflected as if it's a magic attack, but then Twintania counters it with Tidal Wave like it's a physical attack. Cool, I guess? Anyways, I continue to spam Mega Flare to trigger Mega Flare counters. Double Mega Flare every turn means Twintania is unbelievably dead. I'm through the Rift boss rush in less than 25 minutes. I'm flying through this game. And I'm flying straight into the Crystal Dimension, and it's yet another fight versus Gilgamesh. Nah, bro, I don't got time for this. Get out of here. I have to touch the light. I have to do it. It's the Necrophobe. Permanent Reflect does sound like a pretty strong strategy if you're a lowly Sood. I'm opening up with Earthwall, and then I choose to blast Mega Flare. God, why would they make Summon Magic Penetrate Reflect? It makes no sense. It's completely busted. Now that all of the barriers are obliterated before they can even cast a spell, it's time to swap to Sildra for Necrophobe. Necrophobe's all-element weakness means Air Knife boosted Sildra is getting real close to the damage cap. I really couldn't care less if he blinds me. Gilgamesh comes in to just steal my kill. My victory was assured. It was obvious. All that's left is Neo Exdeath, and my extruded brainhorn can see where this is going. I'm level 44 with a couple of 43s. It's time to end this. Thank God the Dawn Warriors are here to accomplish absolutely nothing, but I appreciate the moral support, I guess. Lena's dad is munching on some popcorn from the sidelines. Time to chop this tree down. Haste from the Hermes Sandals means that I get to go first, and I will play Big Shield Golem in defense mode for Earthwall. Now the fun begins. Air Knife boosted Sildra and auto battle, let's see what you got. Which is a heck of a lot. Exdeath did exactly one attack. He slugged Kral with a physical attack, which Earthwall blocked. This is looking very promising. Surely nothing bad will happen in Phase 2 against Neo Exdeath. The magic lamp is here once again. I'm ripping through the charges to get to Odin for Zantetsuken. Listen, if I cast Odin myself, he's just gonna use Gungnir, it's a whole thing. The lamp's the easy way to instant kill the lady in the back. I did get double vacuum waved, but Golem blocked both of them. I'm not taking any risks here, I'm getting a fresh Earthwall up. Now, the Thunderstorm spam begins. Throw in some Mega Flares too, why the heck not? Almagust came out and it's a full party whiff? I'm speechless. I'm spamming summons and laughing at the Sood that is Neo Exdeath. Another set of basic attacks are blocked by Golem. Well, that's 2 parts dead, not a single Grand Cross in sight. And yeah, he kinda just keeled over. That's Final Fantasy V completed using exclusively summoners, with a nice little bonus that I took no damage on Neo Exdeath at all. Final Fantasy V using exclusively summoners was completed at level 44 in 8 hours, 19 minutes, and 35 seconds. I'm pretty sure that that's the speed record, and if it wasn't, well, it was darn fast. That being said, just like in Star Fox 64, I used the boost to get through those grinding sessions faster, so don't take the data too seriously. Could summoners have completed this at a lower level? Absolutely! But what ended up happening was I was just blasting everything to smithereens. Ninja is the current level leader at 40 to 42. When I played Ninja, I just started smoke bombing from any and all battles unless I was actively grinding. Summoner's killing power was so ludicrously high that it took about the same amount of time to just kill everything than to fish for an escape. That resulted in a significantly higher level. Honestly, what else is there to say? Summoner is ludicrously powerful. I've definitely been sleeping on it. Despite being the most intelligent job, you really do get to play Summoner like a Sood. The roots of Grug run deep. As a mage job, you get the ability to smash rods. I did actively try to avoid smashing in the early game, even though I should have just done it for bosses like Byblos and the Soul Cannon. It's really insane how good rod smashing is in the Pixel Remaster. I have the strongest summon magic in the game with Bahamut and Air Knife boosted Sildra, and they're still weaker than just a basic Flame Rod boosted Flame Rod smash. Flame Rods were available all the way back in Carnak just after the Water Crystal. It's genuinely crazy how rod smashing is the dominant strategy for all mages all the way to the very end of the game. Even with the best summons, smashing rods is still better. I was a bit concerned that Summoner would taper off in Galuf's world. This is all because the summons you get there are all defensive and Catoblepus's Petrify. That means you're stuck continuing to use Titan. But as soon as you clear the second Gilgamesh fight, you can pick up the Gaia Gear in Regol, which boosts him. Titan with the Gaia Gear is more than enough to trash pretty much everything with a few outliers. I'm sure I could have beaten Exdeath in his castle without rod smashing on that second attempt, but I was engaging the speed force. I wanted to see how fast I could beat Summoner. Turns out that Earthwall and Ruby Light were both super helpful as soon as they became available. I would strongly recommend getting both of them. Other than that, are there any highlights for the playthrough? I guess Halicarnassus having a direct summon magic counter was mildly interesting. I wouldn't really have needed to adjust my strategy though. If I just continued to put up earth walls, it would have negated the insane physical counters. But rod smashing is always good. Archeoaevis as usual is a bit of a pickle for magic jobs, but Summoner felt a lot stronger than the others so far. I haven't checked out the stat block, but maybe they actually have decent melee stats. Other than that, well, Summoner is just a complete steamroller. Everything crumbles before its might. I genuinely think that Summoner was the easiest playthrough to date. It's honestly probably the easiest one I'll ever do in these challenges. Summoner is completely brainless. But what won't be so easy and brainless is the lowly Thief, which you can watch next time on Backlog Buster Challenger.